I fancied having a go at a mountain scene today. So first try and get like some sort of dramatic sky going. A few light colours first. Add a bit of red to it. More dramatic than that, I think. Can do better than that. Bit of a alizarin. Let's clean that one. It's gone a little bit dirty. This will be the water in the foreground, I think. Let's introduce a bit of burnt umber, light red, ultramarine. I'm going to go back to some lights, I think. Just get a few. In there, scatter them out a bit. And then I'll get these in again. I just want to introduce a few sort of dark stormy clouds in there. So before I start putting the mountains in. So if I just a bit of alizarin, a bit of Payne's grey. Mix that with a bit of ultramarine. Take a bit of tissue, create a bit of texture in the sky. So I sort of something like this. And while that's still slightly damp, I'm just going to mix a few darks together. Just start shaping and pushing up into those clouds. Just start shaping some of these mountains also. Let's just darken that water area. So I think we're going to go a little bit bigger actually. Just try and make a bit more of a feature out of them. A little bit bigger. And then while I'm at it, let's take out some of this. Right then, let's just pull that flat. I think I'm going to have to dry that because at the moment it just looks a complete mess. Just a total and utter mess. So I've just fixed that in place for what it was worth, because it weren't a lot. And then I'm just going to dry it and then just try and add a little bit more pizzazz. So I'll start off with some of that, reflect some of that below. Go into the ultramarine, just push some of this down, just a bit of blue in the sky. I'll need a light source now, so that's going to be just there. Doesn't have to be much, but just something. Let me take my piece of card, and I think this is going to actually switch from mountains. I might go back to cliffs. The mountain is just, they're just not working. Give that a quick dry. Now this time I'm not going to wet it, I'm just going to go straight on. I'm going to put the colour on and then try and blend it afterwards, because I'm just not getting the sort of intensity I'm looking for. So if I just pop in some yellow first. Then mix the two reds together. bit of tissue here and there. And just mixing some of the darks together. I just want to redo some of these cliff bits. Don't like the way that turned out. Get that little bit of light. And a little bit of light down below as well. Yeah, just a I'm going to switch brushes now and just try and first dry a little bit. I'm going to use the small 1/4 inch flat just to try and make a few adjustments. So I'm going to start up here. Fix some of that below. Let's switch to this flat brush next. I'm getting a nice sharp edge with this. My hag's too worn, unfortunately. So let's get a few. A bit more water. Bits of ultramarine here and there, just darken some of that. Take the rigger brush, try and make a few marks with that as well. So just a few random marks. So these are just need something because the background just looks quite boring. Few things in there. In fact, I might try the sword liner, so I don't have to keep reloading it as much. Maybe like a few. Like some posts or something. I think what I'm going to do is just try a little bit of gouache. So I'm going to I'll just hit the rigger brush. I've just got a little bit of gouache here. I'm just going to take it straight out of the tube. I'm just going to dip it straight in like that, and just see what sort of effects I can get. So if I imagine like little waves and things. It's definitely going to have like a yacht there. A couple of yachts there. It needs to be bigger. I'm going to use this, I think, just to pop in a few little seagulls here and there. I think that's enough gouache faffing around. If I just go back to this little flat brush, and now I'm just going to try a few more darks here in the foreground. Just strengthen those a little bit, and then I think I'm going to call that one finished, I think, before I mess about with it too much. So let's just give it a quick dry. In fact, what I might do actually, before I finish, I'll just tip that. Just a few little highlights here and there. So if I just take a touch of that, imagine the sort of the lights come in and just catching. catching some of these. So just catching the edges of some of these rocks. I think that'll do for that. Put that away. Just stick the top back on that. I'll finish that gouache now. I'm just going to sign this thing and call it done, I think. I'll just take. So I need the bigger brush. Just take a number 3 rigger. Just take a big dollop of light red. I'm just going to sign this one in the corner and call it finished. So let's stick a mount on this one now and just see what it looks like. So here's our finished painting the mount. So if we go and have a closer look, it became, I mean, I had a rough idea what I wanted to do before the paint started, but it pretty much became a bit of an experiment, and it just evolved. But I think that's one of the most exciting things about painting, especially watercolours. Just whack it on and just let the paint do its thing and just go with the flow. So often people tell me that they're so tight when they paint, they're just learning to paint loose as they can. And it's all about just having that freedom to just do whatever the paint wants to do. Well, I mean, taking a closer look at this one, you see I've got the light source here and then reflected down below, and then just try to get the light just to catch. We've got the cliffs, the usual rocks and stuff that are scraping, but then I try to just catch the edges of some of these elements just to give the impression of light. Got a few little waves there, use the gouache just for little wave effects. You can see how it sort of sprays out a little bit. I can't think what the technical term is, because it was still slightly wet. And then over on the other side, probably put this on a little bit too thick again, just try to get the light just to catch these, whatever that is. I don't know if they almost look like buildings, but they're meant to be rocks. A few little yachts, 3 yachts on that side, and then pops a few seagulls in as well. And then these sort of cliff tops just sort of merge into the sky area, all wet in wet. So just to get that sort of nice misty look. Kept some of the scrapings. It was way overdone, so I just painted over most of it and just left little bits of it in just to keep it a bit more subtle. And then sort of the fence post sort of marked the sort of land area, but then we've got the sort of wets just going right off down into like the sort of valley, whatever's down yonder. So that's today's painting, sort of imaginary sort of seascape. Hope you enjoy that. Thanks as always for watching, for your company, for your support, especially all the patrons. Patreon.com/Stephen Cronin. If you get the chance, join me over there, you'd be very much appreciated. So keep practicing. If you've got any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.